Hi everyone, this is Matt Mountain, and this is a video to show off the power of views within Salesforce. As I've been putting out in my previous blogs, there's a lot of things that you can do with views. I am very high on views. I love views, and I want people to take advantage of everything that it can do for you. So what we're looking at here is the Opportunity tab, and this is a developer environment I've had for 15 years. And what we're going to do is very quickly walk through some of the things that you can do with views in order to really maximize Salesforce. So as you can see here, we're on the Opportunities tab. We're looking at a view called All Opportunities. And what we've got here is when we look at the filters, we're looking at all opportunities where the opportunity record type equals consulting, for example. What we're going to do first is we want to, as we can see here, the stages are everything from qualification, perception analysis, close one. We want to create a view for only open opportunities. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click on this gear and we're going to click clone. And I want everything that this view has, and then we're going to modify it. So instead of calling it copy of all opportunities, I'm going to call it all open opportunities. Who do I want to see it? I could have everybody see it, or only I could see it. It's totally up to you. So in this case, I'll just do it for myself, and I'll hit save. Now, when I do that, I get the exact same view I had before. The filters haven't changed. So that's where I have to come in here, and I'm going to add a filter where the stage is not equal to closed won or closed lost. I only want the open stages. I'll hit done and save. Okay, so what we've just done is we have just cloned a view. Now, within these views, I can sort it by however I want. I can sort it by stage, by close date. Now, keep in mind, this org's been around for 15 years, so some of the dates on here are going to shock you, but that's what you can do with views. Now, this new view is my favorite view. So every time I come to the Opportunity tab, I want to see this view. In order to do that, what I would do is I would pin it. By clicking this pin, what that does is every time I go away from the tab and come back to the tab, that's the view I've told Salesforce that I want to see every time. Now, I can also go in and modify the fields. So let's say some of these, I want to add some new fields to this view. To do that, you come in here and you click on the gear and you click on Select Fields to Display. At this point, I can come in and I can just pick other fields that I want. So I want last activity and I want lead source, for example. Now, what I can also do is arrange where they are. So I want last activity to go all the way up here, right next to opportunity name, and we'll leave lead source at the bottom. So when I do that, now we can see here's last activity and here's lead source. So that's how you add fields to a view. Now, there may be multiple views that are of great interest to you. So this is open opportunities. I may want to look at MRO opportunities, for example. And in this case, it's not my favorite, but it's still very important to me. So at this point, what I can do is I can come up here and I can favorite it. I've already made it a favorite. So as you can see here, I said this is one of my favorite views and I want to be able to access it quickly at any time. So the point being is, if I want this view, MRO favorites, and I'm on the Accounts tab, and I am looking at this trucking company, for example, and I want to see that view, I could either come up here to Opportunities, and because it defaults to all open, I could click this and find it. There it is. Or if I'm on this, I can simply come up here and click that, and now I've got my view. So that's another way, even though you can only pin one view per tab, That's another way to make important views accessible much more quickly. So let's go back to our favorite view here. And now, as you can see, I've got some close dates in the past, okay? And I want to update some close dates. But I don't want to open each one and change the close date. That would be just terrible. So at this point, we can see that I've got a lot of opportunities. So I'm going to click on these, and I've selected all 69 of them. And what I'm going to do is I want to update all close dates to today. So at this point, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to change this to today. And I want to update all of them. Apply, save. And I have now just updated every close date in the system to today. So with views, you can mass update records in your system. Now what I want to do is I want to take a look at my pipeline. And growing up with Lotus 1, 2, 3, and then Excel, I like this view. But there's another view that I like better. And what I can do is, instead of coming in here into list controls, I click on the next one and I say, I want to see the Kanban view. And what this does is this lets you see, in this case, all open opportunities by stage. And what it does is it totals the amount by stage at the top. So if I were to drag this one for $625,000 and move it over here, these numbers are going to update. So let me just drag it and drop it. And now you can see that all these numbers have been updated. So this is a way in which you can update your stages and look at opportunities a little bit differently than your traditional Excel spreadsheet. So with that, that is some of the power of views, and I hope that you've learned something and can apply this in your day-to-day. Thanks.